Alright everyone, I am back once again, and today I have another Wi-Fi battle, and this battle is going to be I'm going to be up against TheKillerNacho once again, and this is going to be a UU battle, and this is also going to be the last battle I have with the snack in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because this battle took place just a few days before the release of Sun and Moon, so I wanted to get one more battle against him. So yeah, and this is it. I wanted to give him one last battle, and I actually was hoping I can win this battle too. So yeah, I'm gonna lead off with Braviary, and he's gonna lead off with Galvantula, which is not the ideal of matchups, obviously. So here I'm hoping he's not Scarf, so that I can just U-turn. He's not Scarf, thankfully. He's probably sashed, so I'm gonna get the hell out of here, go into Goodra in case he goes for an electric move, and I can actually resist with Goodra thanks to the Goodra especially defensive stat, I guess. And thankfully I don't get paralyzed either. But here he goes for the sticky webs, and I think here I try to go for the Dragon Tail just to phase it out and also do a lot of damage to this thing, possibly even take it out. But I don't get to take it out, so now I have to deal with this Cloyster, and I actually am gonna switch out as a result, because this was actually a double switch, and I'm gonna double switch into Braviary here, and I'm just gonna go for the U-turn again because this matchup is not ideal for Braviary. And I think here I'm gonna go into Lucario, and the reason being is that I do anticipate a Shell Smash, and I do not want this thing to get away with just attacking me, because now that he has the sticky webs up, this thing can literally outspeed everything. Not even Sharpedo at +1 can outspeed this thing at +2, honestly. So what I'm gonna do is send out Lucario and actually go straight for the Vacuum Wave. I didn't want to be risky and try to predict him to just stay in or whatnot. So, or yeah, I didn't want to predict him to stay in. So, because he doesn't stay in, he actually switches out and goes into Roserade. Here I switch out because I don't want to stay in on Roserade. I was also afraid of hitting Power Fire, so I switched into Goodra, who can definitely take any special hit from this Roserade really nicely, and doesn't give a shit about the sticky webs. He does go for Sleep Powder though, which is actually kind of surprising, because I honestly thought that he would know that he shouldn't go for Sleep Powder knowing there's a Goodra on my team. But oh well, he did it anyways. I guess he was risking it for the biscuit, which didn't pay off for him clearly. So he's just gonna go for Toxic Spikes here, and I'm just gonna Dragon Tail it out. I do crit this thing, and I'm not sure if it mattered, probably not, because this was an offensive Goodra with Choice Band, Stab, Dragon Tail, and +1 thanks to Sap Zipper. I think it was dead either way, honestly. So here he goes into Hydreigon, and I switch it out into Swampert just to take the Draco Meteor. And I did have a neat little trick here up my sleeve. What I was gonna do here was actually take a Draco Meteor. I know that I'm going to be super weakened, that it's literally not going to do me anything, basically. But surprisingly, it actually kind of does do me a little bit of work, actually, despite it being this badly crippled, close to death, basically. Because what I'm going to do here is actually activate my Custap Berry, for whatever it's worth, because honestly he switches out anyway, so it's not like he was going to try to finish me off with anything anyway. And he goes into Cloyster. I do get my Stealth Rocks up because of this switch, honestly. And I am about to go down to Poison. But here, my Swampert does do one last ditch saving here before going down, and that is preventing this thing from getting a free Shell Smash before going down, basically. Because what I do here is actually just go for the Roar, because this was exactly what I was afraid of, that this Cloyster would try to set up and have this Swampert go down and then be able to sweep everything from then and there. So I was actually able to prevent that from happening. And now I get to phase it into this Entei, which takes rocks damage. Look at that. My Swampert actually putting in work despite it being close to going down. That's crazy. Now my Swampert goes down to Poison, and now I'm going to be sending in, I believe, Braviary. No, Goodra. Goodra, so I can go for Outrage. I did anticipate the switch into Cloyster, and I wanted to go for a Power Whip predicting the switch, but I really didn't want to risk missing the Power Whip, because if I missed the Power Whip on the Cloyster, it would just be able to outspeed my Goodra thanks to Sticky Webs, and I think, not to mention, it's also invested in speed. And I would just get swept by everything else. Like, I would get swept by this thing, basically. Like, I would have just lost it, in other words. So here I just go for Outrage. I do get to take out this Cloyster, thankfully, but unfortunately, because now I'm locked into Outrage, he now gets a free switch into Hydreigon, which is now easily going to be able to Draco Meteor my Goodra unless it misses, which unfortunately does not miss, so it's going to just take out my Goodra, and there's literally nothing I can do about it because it's locked into Outrage. And damn, that was a painful blast right there. I'm going to let Goodra's going to go down basically. And here I'm just going to send in Lucario because there are no rocks up, so I'm free to go for another for an Aura Sphere here. And honestly, I could have predicted this switch into Nidoking and just gone for Flash Cannon, but the reason why I didn't try to predict into Flash Cannon was because he still had the Entei, and I wanted to see if he'd switch into Entei instead, but he didn't. So he went for not that it matters, because I would have been able to I would have had to switch out anyways, because I don't think Flash Cannon would KO from what Nidoking from where it was at, and I wasn't sure if I could take it out with Vacuum Wave, honestly. I might have, but who knows. I wasn't really sure, honestly, so... And I didn't even predict the switch in the Nidoking anyway, so I definitely just went for Aura Sphere no matter what. He goes for Stealth Rocks. Thankfully, he didn't go for Earth Power nor Sludge Wave, so... But he did get Stealth Rocks up, which is probably worse, actually, because my Braviary is now going to take Stealth Rocks every time it comes in. I do get to take it out with Braviary, though. But the problem here now is that the fact that this Hydreigon is probably Scarfed, and so is my Braviary, but Hydreigon has a much higher speed stat than Braviary does, and as a result I'm kind of forced to switch out because Braviary is kind of my win condition because it hits the majority of his mons really hard, to the point where it's even within range of getting KO'd thanks to the rocks. And so as a result I have to keep sacking things here to this Hydreigon, which is crazy. He gets to one-shot this Cofagrigus, for example, which sucks because now this thing literally didn't get to do anything. But since Hydreigon was in this team, it wasn't going to do me any good anyway, so I just had to literally sack it. Now here I go into Lucario, and he has rocks up, so now my Focus Sash is broken now. And now I have to literally play this correctly. And I do play it wrong again, because what he does here is switch into Galvantula. And I do go for Aura Sphere, and I get to take it out, but now once again he gets to send in the Entei, which is not what I wanted. This was actually the reason why I was actually trying to go for Aura Sphere in the first place. But he just got the free switch into Entei anyways. But here, unfortunately, I had to make another really rough decision, and that was to sack my Sharpedo, because unfortunately Sharpedo, thanks to these sticky webs and the toxic spikes that were set up, and the fact that I can't get rid of it with anything on my team, means that this Sharpedo is now literally useless. As much as it pains for me to say, but it is useless now, because it can't do much. Not to mention, this thing could have E-speeded me trying to go for Protect, honestly, so I just had to let it go down here. This thing resists, but I was actually kind of surprised that Sharpedo went down, but then again, Sharpedo has like the flimsiest of defenses if there were any. But here Sharpedo goes down, and I just send out Braviary just to take this thing out. I do get to take out this Entei with the Brave Bird, but unfortunately, because this Brave Bird delivers so much recoil damage, I'm now within range. I'm most likely within range of a Fire Blast from Hydreigon to take me out, basically. So yeah, I just have to hope to goodness sake that it doesn't hit, and it actually didn't hit, so it actually missed the Fire Blast, and now I just get to take this thing out with a Brave Bird. That was actually kind of crazy, because if that thing hit, it would have been able to, he might have won this battle. I did have Lucario, but I mean, if he hit that second Fire Blast, he would have beat me there. But then again, I was literally just hoping that he'd miss the Fire Blast anyways. That was literally what it was going to come down to, if he can miss the Fire Blast. And he actually did miss the Fire Blast, and I actually did win. Thankfully, because this was actually going to be my last battle against the TheKillerNacho in Generation 6 at least. And I at least wanted to have a W before ending this generation, basically. Because, yeah. But, so yeah, good games to TheKillerNacho nonetheless. And once again, I may have won this battle, but again, like Tesla Mouse, TheKillerNacho also had a higher win record than I did anyways. Because I think I only got, in all of Generation 6, I think I only got a total of 5 wins over him, and he got 12 over me. So yeah, that just goes to show you how much he's beaten me. This is how much he's beaten me. He hasn't beaten me as much as Tesla Mouse, but he has more wins than me by a landslide. compared to what I have over Tesla Mouse, which is actually really, really crazy. This is what I like about the TheKillerNacho, is that he has some distinction to him, that he gets to beat a bunch of good battlers. Yeah, he gets to, okay, yeah, he beats a bunch of people that actually beat a bunch of other people that are good battlers, basically, is what I wanted to say. So the fact that he has that makes me admire him a lot more. And the crazier thing is that he doesn't even use competitive teams. He just strings together a bunch of teams in most cases and just hopes for them to work, and it really does seem to work in most cases. So yeah, there's a lot to say for TheKillerNacho. So this battle was honestly nothing, but I did like it myself because I did get to win, and this was the last battle I was gonna have with him. But yeah, either way, I'm talking way too much now. Just stay tuned for more battles, because I do have a few more battles with from Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. We're getting closer to Sun and Moon now, so just stick with me, fellas. Stick with me.